So now move on to the first year. We're given the principal amount P1, that is equals to 5,000, and the amount for the first year is given as 5,600. So we can calculate the interest for the first year from this A1 minus P1, that is 5,600 minus 5,000, that comes to 600. Now 600 is the interest for the first year, and from this information we can calculate the rate of interest. So the rate is given by R equals to I1 into 100 by P into T. So this 600 into 100 divided by P into T, that is this one. So it comes to 12%. So the rate of interest we got as 12%. Now with this rate of interest, we now move on to the second year, the second conversion period. Now since A1 is 5,600, the amount at the end of the first year, the amount for the first year is given as 5,600. So this is obviously the principal for the second conversion period or the second year. So we move on to the second year. So in second year we have the principal P2 is equals to 5,600, and the rate of interest we have just found, that is 12%, and time equals to 1 year. Now let's calculate the interest for the second year, that is I2. I2 equals to P2 into R into T divided by 100. So this is 5,600 into rate is 12, time is 1, and this is 100. So if you cancel this, so 56 into 12 is coming to be 672. So now finally you have to find the amount at this. So it is P2 plus I2, and P2 is 5,600 plus 672. It's come to 27. So it's coming to 6,272. So the amount after 2 years is 6,272, and interest for the second year is 672. Now what is required in the question is the interest accrued in the second year. So we got the interest for the second year, that is equal to 672. Now the third point is required in the question is the amount at the end of the third year. So let us get into the third year. So amount at the end of the second year is obviously the principal for the third year. So P3. So now let us come to this third year. So in the third year we have P3, that is the amount of the previous year, that is 6,272, rate 12%, T is 1 year. So what is your interest? P3 into R into T divided by 100. So this is 6,272 into 12 into 1 by 100, and 6,272 to 100, 752.64. So this is the interest I3 for the third year. Now from here we can calculate the value of the amount. So we have A3 equals to P3 plus I3. Now P3 is 6,272 and I3 is coming to 752.64. So the amount at the end of the final third year is 7024.64. 7024.64. So we got finally to the amount at the end of the 3 years is 7024.64. Now what is required in the question you will write simply. So the first point was required, the rate of interest per annum. So we write rate of interest, that has come to 12%. Second is the interest accrued in the second year. So that is interest accrued in second year, and that is equals to rupees 672. And then third is the amount at the end of the third year. So amount at the end of third year is equals to A3, that is 7024 7024.64. So there it is. Okay, now let's move on to the next question, that is question number 5. Okay, write the question on the board. The simple interest on a certain sum of money, the simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 5% per annum is rupees 1200. Find the amount due and the compound interest on this sum of money at the same rate after 3 years. Interest is reckoned annually. So let us first read the question once again. The simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 5% per annum is rupees 1200. So in this particular line, what is not known to us is the sum. So simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 5% per annum is rupees 1200. So from this information, we need to first calculate the sum, the principal. Now find the amount due and the compound interest on this sum of money at the same rate after 3 years. Interest is recorded annually. Now with this sum, we will proceed further to find the amount and the compound interest on the sum of money and for 3 years. Now let us see. We'll start with. Now to start with, we assume that let the sum be P. So the interest given is 1200. So I is P into R into T by 100. So since interest is given as 1200, P is to be found. Rate of interest is given as 5% and time is 3 years. So this is 100. So P will be equals to 00 into 100 divided by 5 into 3. So if we calculate this, we get the value equals to 8000. So we now get the value, the sum equals to 8000. So after this, we have to calculate the compound interest and the amount due after 3 years. So let's start for this with this sum. So first year, same procedure, same method all together. In every question you are following the same method. So first you note down the P1, the principal, as 8000. Rate is given at the same rate, that is 5%. 5%. T is 1 year. So what is I1? That is P1 into R into T divided by 100. So P1 is 8000. Rate is 5. Time is 1 by 100. If it cancels, it comes to 400. So 400. So amount A1 is P1 plus I1. P1 is 8000 and I1 is 400. So it comes to 8400, and that is the principal for the next conversion period, that is P2, that is 8400. Right, now we move on to the second year. So in the second conversion period or the second year, we have the principal P2 equals to 8400, rate again the same 5%, time is 1 year, so the interest is P2 into R into T by 100, and that is 8400, rate is 5 into 1 by 100. So 420 is the interest for the second year. Now you need to find the amount, and that is P2 plus I2. So 8400 plus 420, and that comes to 0 2. So it is 8820, the amount at the end of the second conversion period, or at the end of second year. And this is the principal for the next conversion period, that is for the third year. So we can write for the third year, we have P3, that is equals to 8820, rate equals to 5% and T equals to 1 year. So I3 is P3 into R into T by 100. So what is P3? That is 8820 into 5 into 1 by 100. So it is coming 52441. So the interest is coming to 441. So amount A3 will be P3 plus I3, and that is equals to 8820 plus 441. It is 162. So it is 9261 is the amount after the end of 3 years. We need to find both also the compound interest. So compound interest is here. So compound interest will be the final amount, that is A3, minus the original principal, that is P1. So it is 9261 and P1 was 8000. So we got 1261. So that is it. Just have a look. Now let's move on to the next question, that is question number 6. Rahul invests rupees 2,50,000 for 2 years at 8% per annum, at 8% per annum compounded annually. If 10% of the of the interest accrued at the end of each year is deducted as income tax. Find the amount he received. Find the amount he received at the end of 2 years. At the end of 2 years. So let's read the question once again. Rahul invests rupees 2,50,000 for 2 years at 8% per annum compounded annually. Now, if 10% of the interest accrued at the end of each year, now mind it, this language, this particular area, if 10% of the interest accrued at the end of each year is deducted as the income tax. So for 2 years, so the first year when you find the interest, then 10% of that interest will be deducted as income tax. So what will be your amount at the end of the first year? So the amount at the end of the first year will be your principal plus your interest minus 10% of your interest. Got it? So we'll be doing, so it is, your amount will be the principal plus the interest for the second year minus 10% of the interest, which is deducted as the income tax. So let us move then, let us try solve and find the amount he received at the end of 2 years. Okay, so let us start. The first year is, we have first year, so P1 is 2,50,000. So a rate of interest, let's suppose given is 8% and T is 1 year. So let's find the interest for the first year. So it is P1 into R into T by 100. So what is P1? 250,000 into 8 into 1 by 100. So this is, so it comes to 20,000. 20,000. Then let us find the, so now 20,000 is the interest for the first year. Now what is the amount of tax to be deducted? Is 10%. According to the question, the 10% of the interest is to be deducted as the income tax. So what is the value of income tax? So income tax, it is given at the rate of 10%, equals to 10% of I1, that is 10% of 20,000, that is 10 by 100 into 20,000, so you got it 2,000. So 2,000 is the amount of tax being deducted. Now what is the final amount? Amount will be equals to P1 plus I1 minus the amount of tax. P1 is 250,000, interest is 20,000 minus 2,000. So this is coming to that, I have already done the calculation, that is coming to 268,000. 268,000, and let us assume it as P2, that is a principal for the next year. So this is it. We have found the interest for the first year, that is coming to 20,000, and according to the question, that income tax is deducted, but from what? Income tax, 10% of the income tax is deducted from the interest. So we have deducted 10% of the interest, that is coming to 2,000. Now this 2,000, so final amount stands to the principal plus the interest and minus 10% of the interest, and that is coming to 2,68,000. And this will be obviously the principal for the next year. So we move on to the second year. The second year we have P2. P2 will be equal to 268,000. Rate again 8%. Time equals to 1 year. Rate is 8%. That is. Now what is your interest? I2 equals to P into R into T by 100. So 268,000 into 8 into 1 by 100. So it is coming to 21440. 21440. So this is the interest for the second year. Now you need to find the amount of tax being deducted from this interest. So you can write income tax at the rate of 10% for the second year. It is, so this is equals to 10% of I2, that is 10% of 21440 is 10 by 100 into 21440, and that is coming to 2144. This 2144. So what is the final amount? That is A2, that is P2 plus I2 minus 2144. So P2 is 268000 plus I2 comes to 21440 minus the tax 2144. So 268000 plus 21440 minus 2144, 287296. 287296. So this is the amount that Rahul receives at the end of 2 years. So what we did is, in the first year we calculate the interest. From the interest 10% is deducted as income tax, and after that whatever is left, that is the amount for the first year. The end of the first year will be the sum plus the interest minus 10% of the interest, which is the tax. So we enter into the second conversion period, second year, same procedure. So we found the interest for the second year as 21440. So 10% of this is deducted as the income tax. So from here it is coming to 2144. So finally the amount stands to P2 plus I2, the principal plus the interest minus the amount of tax. Then the final answer is coming 287296. I think it is clear now. So now we move on to the next question, that is question number 7. A man borrows rupees 16,000 at 15% per annum compounded annually. If he repays rupees 4,500 at the end of each year, how much loan is outstanding against him at the beginning of the third year. So now see to the question. A man borrows rupees 16,000 at 15% per annum compounded annually. If he repays rupees 4,500 at the end of each year, so how much loan is outstanding against him at the beginning of the third year? So this is a very simple question. What you do is find the amount for first year, then from this amount you deduct 4,500 because he is repaying the amount 4,500 at the end of each year. So from the amount of the first year deduct this. The balance will be the principal for the next year. Whenever next year when you find the amount, from that you subtract again 4,500. So the balance, whatever is left, is the principal outstanding as the principal for the third year. So let's move. So the data is first year. We have P1 that is given as 16,000. Rate given as 15% and T is 1 year. So we have the interest I1 is P into R into T by 100, and that is equal to 16,000 into rate is 15 into 1 by 100, and that is coming to 2400. So 2400 is the interest for the first year. Now what is the amount? Is obviously the principal plus interest. The principal is 16,000 plus 2400. So this is coming to, okay, before that one thing we can do. Before that, what is the money paid back? Money paid back equals to 4,500. So our amount will be P1 plus I1 minus 4,500. The principal plus interest, and he is repaying 4,500. So we have the principal 16,000 plus interest is 2,400 minus 4,500. So finally this is coming to 13900. 13900. So 13,900, which is the amount outstanding in the or amount at the end of the first year, will now be the principal for the second year. So now we move on to the second year. Second year. So second year we have P2. This we can name it as P2. So P2 is 13900. Rate is how much? 15%. T equals to 1 year. So I2 is P2 into R into T by 100. That is 13900 into 15 into 1 by 100. So interest I2 is coming to 2085. 2085 is the interest. Now money paid back again is rupees 4,500. So what is the amount A2? A2 is P2 plus I2 minus 4,500. So what is P2? 13900. I2 is 2085 minus 4,500. So I think coming to 11485. 11485, and that is the value P3, principal for the next year. So the question is, how much loan is outstanding against him at the beginning of the third year? So at the beginning of the third year, the amount of loan outstanding is P3, that is 11485. So this is one of the very important questions where you have to repaying the money. That means you have to deduct that money from the amount of every year, because he is paying 4,500 every year. So 4,500 subtracted from the amount for the first year, and again subtracted from the second year, and finally whatever is outstanding is 11485. Hope it is clear. Now can move on to another question. So but before that, you just have a look.